Hello, and welcome to another Range unit of the Reek. And today we're taking a look at the Panzer T-60R light tank, available to Korok 559. The T-60 light tank first entered service in 1941, and the whole idea is that it would replace the older and aging Soviet light tanks at the time, such as the T-26. It was a rather simple tank to produce, with over 6,000 models being made, and it was also a pretty simple tank. Adequate armor, as well as a 20mm autocannon for the two-man crew. In service, rather, during the initial stages of Operation Barbarossa, they performed pretty poorly, as the autocannon wasn't really all that great against the majority of German armor, and it was a little bit slow, and the armor didn't really protect it from the German tanks of the time. And so it was pretty quickly phased out in favour of the T-70, which actually had a proper cannon on top. Now, of course, the Germans being the Germans would capture a bunch of them and would use them in reserve service. Now, this is all cool and all, but we've got to take a minute and talk about the Anatol A40, which is the flying version of the T-60. What they did is put this giant, ridiculous looking biplane mount outside of the tank and turn the T-60 into a glider. The whole idea is use it as paratrooper operation, similar to how later on in the Royal Americans and British would experiment with the M22 Locust and Tetrarchs by sticking them inside of a glider. The Soviets just opted to make the tank the glider itself. They did do one experimental drop with this rig, however. The plane had to let go of the rig a little bit early, as it's having trouble just staying afloat, as it was a rather heavy thing to drag behind. It did land safely, however, and the person inside managed to drive it back to base. And after this incident, they'd pretty much end up cancelling the idea, as it was, a rather silly project. In-game, the Panzer T-60R is a 30-point German tank, available exclusively to Korok 559, and it has two weapons. So for weaponry, you got the TNSH 20mm autocannon. It's a rather standard 20mm autocannon. You have a rather lovely amount of ammunition, which is pretty good. And then you got your also rather standard 7.62 machine gun. In terms of armor layout, you got 40mm frontal armor, you have armor on the top, and on the side you got 25mm, and on the back 25mm. And if we pop down to the miscellaneous stats, it goes 29km off-road, 45km on the road, very bad stealth, and very low optics capability. In battle, the Panzer T-60I is a pretty standard autocannon light tank. But that's not bad, that's a pretty damn good thing, as autocannons and ST2 are lovely, as they do a lot of damage, not just from soft targets, but also against armoured targets, as you can get a lot of non-penetrating critical hits, such as sight damage, turrets stuck, tracks damage, etc., which is all pretty beneficial. Really, this unit is essentially just a Panzer II Lux with more ammunition, and it's a little bit slower, and 5 points cheaper. It really is just a Panzer II Lux, long story short. You can only get it with Korok 559, and you can only get 3 of them, only in a phase. Don't take the vetted runs, this is a silly idea. But this is definitely a unit you'd always want to take with that division, as oil tank slots only cost 1 activation points just due to the weird menagerie of vehicles that you have at your disposal, and having an autocannon vehicle in a phase is a pretty damn good idea. Overall, it's an autocannon light tank. It's the only T-60 in the game, and it belongs to the Germans, of course, for obvious reasons. And yeah, it's alright. It's pretty good. I like it. It's nice to see a T-60. I like tank representation whenever we can get them, especially with more older, out-of-date tanks. And Korok has out in spades. And well, I'm going to leave it off. Yeah, this has been another Ring unit of the Week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and usual, please just take it easy.